All right. Super happy to have you. Thank you for being a part of playing the Recreating You game. This is your official coaching session, which is super exciting. I am here to answer any questions that you have to be able to, if you're not feeling it, if you are feeling it, if you want more information about it, if you have anything going on, this is the time to ask. It's day one of your Recreating You game. And so, what we do is you just go ahead and you raise your hand. This is strictly like pure coaching, and we see where it goes from there. And Lisa, you look beautiful today. I'd love to see the rest of you. If you want to turn on your cameras, that'd be great. Susan, I know you had yours on a minute ago. All right. There she is. Hello, beautiful. I can't hear you. You're muted, but that's okay. It's good to see you walking around. I got my headset on too. I tried to match my eyes with the color.
Thank you.
Yeah, how's it going?
Great. I do have a question.
I want to answer it. Let's do it.
Okay. And with the mirror the window is so bright here. So this, and by the way, I first encountered you a few years ago, and I love what you offer, but I haven't consistently applied it. So this is a great refresher, a great time to circle back and
Good.
actually utilize it. Yeah. So thank you for doing this. So my question is, I know you say the exact wording, I am closed. I personally have resistance to saying I am closed as if like I'm defining myself as closed. So the way I rephrased it for myself, and I love your feedback, is like I've experienced a closing, or like I am feeling a closing, or I have, instead of saying I am as if that's what I am.
Okay. So we're going to first start with the resistance to saying the phrase, because resistance is closing.
True.
And we're trying to clear out closings, right? And there is a reason why I specifically made that statement specifically, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first of all, go ahead and hold the thought, I am closed, and give me all of the thoughts that you have that are in resistance. What are your belief systems about that?
As if I'm defining myself as closed, as if I'm making it more permanent by stating it as a fact,
And
instead of just as a temporary experience.
And right now, are you open?
Well, gosh, it's a mix, I guess. Mostly I feel open.
So when you hold the thought, I am closed, there's background thought. Does that background thought open you?
No.
No. So that means those thoughts are not true. You're not defining yourself as closed. You're not making it permanent. You're not doing any of that. Okay. In neurology and in neuroscience work, definite statements cause pattern interrupts in our mental state. Reason why I use I am closed is you are doing a pattern interrupt in the thought processes that you're having. And it's an instant notification of, ooh, I'm closed. That means what I'm thinking, which is not a permanent state, is not true or not going to happen. And then you'll feel an opening. Of the 40,000 plus people that I have trained to do this, this is the statement that works in all cultures with all people in all walks of life to create an opening. And that opening is what is actually training your mind to pay attention to the sensatory experience you're having, which allows you to then begin to reprogram the neural pathways in a very short period of time.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're stopping. And here's the piece that's hard. Right now, you're not dealing with anything probably too traumatic. But when in the middle of the holiday and you're one of those relatives, they lambast you again and they throw you completely off center and you go back to being 7 years old and you're a complete mess, one of the only things you're going to be able to hang on to is, I'm closed. I'm closed. I'm closed. These thoughts aren't true. They're so real. I've dealt with this person forever.
It's a very potently succinct.
Yes, I'm closed. And you might that might be it. Like this person who's done this to me for 20 years, 30 years, and I know the fact is that I believe what my story is in this moment is true about this person. The only thing you may be able to hang on to is I'm closed. And occasionally what you'll hear from people is in my voice saying, that means what you're thinking isn't true. It isn't going to happen. Because our minds will create a story that ramps us up so hard that one statement of I am closed will yank us out of it because we practiced it. It's not a permanent state. It's a pattern interrupt that allows us to do something different. when it feels like we can't.
Okay, got it. And I just want to say, I'm happy I could be here today. I am going to turn my camera off again because I've got to multitask. And then this is the only day this week where I'm able to be on live.
That's okay.
But
Just
I'll be
watch the
catching the replays.
replays.
I will,
Please do.
absolutely. So thank you. I'm glad I got to get my question in right away.
Me too. And just real quick here, we have a lot of there's a lot of other teachings coming in, like the law of attraction. And if you make this statement, then it's try
Mm,
to let all that go for right now and try and because this is so fresh. The law of attraction comes back in later as in a very different way than what it's been taught. It's way more powerful and effective and consistent. But just when notice your resistance and let go of those thoughts with the same thought with the same treatment. I am closed. Oh, I'm closed
yeah,
about
that
that
makes
too.
sense. Right.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. All right. Who else would like to go? Who has a question? Hi, Roberta. Nice to meet you. We have a small call today. So, Roberta, do you have a question? No? Lisa?
So
There
helpful
she
if
is.
I unmute myself, right? So helpful.
Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to share my experience because I do a fair amount. I'm very interested in anything that has to do with neuroscience and rebuilding those neural pathways and sort of filling in those ones that don't serve me anymore. And what was so interesting about doing the first exercise um, was that the minute I made that comment about I do not have an internal guidance system, my throat just locked up. And then as I was going through the notes and rereading day one, your comment, Zen, was, did anyone hear that voice in their head telling themselves, no, I have one. I do have one. And I did, exactly. I had this feeling of, I'm not being truthful.
Yeah.
That's what came into my mind. I'm not being truthful. I do have one. And then it was like, oh, this is what she means by closed.
Mm-hmm. And it
The
can show up in
tingling.
different areas. So it shows up in the throat, and we all have it differently based because our minds have been created differently in our youth. And a chest feeling, and then the solar plex. I have people who have never had a throat closing in their whole life because they've never been told by their parents or anyone else that they weren't good enough, they aren't enough, they're too much, they're too little, they should shush. All of that stuff shows up in the throat. It
Mm,
prevents us, right? And they've never had that. And then I have other people that they've had it so long that they've been to the doctor multiple times looking for cancer
yeah.
because they think that there's something physically wrong and it's just something that they need. And we clear it out. Um, and they could get back to like, this doesn't happen anymore. And when it does, they know what to do with it. They know what type of thought to look for. Yeah. And then did you notice when you shifted to I do have, did it release them immediately?
Oh, my goodness, yeah, it was like a light switch,
Yeah.
and it was that immediate, and what's interesting right now, I've had a couple of interruptions in the day, like things that were planned didn't go the way they were supposed to, so I can feel like there's tension there again,
Yeah. And it's
and
what you're
I was gonna
thinking.
share, but I thought, let me just observe, so
No,
I'm
please
kind of
share,
glad.
share. I want to,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm
share.
glad because for me, this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this training is that so many times I have silenced myself thinking don't start anything, don't start a conflict. You know, you're going to do something really bad, you're going to say something you're going to regret. And so it was very telling that I didn't feel it in my chest, I didn't feel it in my solar plexus, but man, right in my throat. And you can hear me now right now how I'm
Yeah.
kind of gravelly.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
because that's your main issue. That's the big area right now
yeah,
where
for
it's holding
me,
you back.
yeah.
You'll feel it. You will continue to play. You're going to get to continue to play with this practice for the next 3 days where we add on it and build on it. And then we have two completely different practices for Thursday and Friday. So you're going to get to play with it. Um, the most important thing to notice is that in changing your thinking, it released.
Right.
You have complete conscious control over your internal experience. And once you understand how to shift it, like, and manipulate it is like a weird word, but more how to guide it, guide your thinking to get the release, then you'll know you're back on track. And it will give you the support to speak up in those situations that you never have been able to before.
Super exciting. Very exciting. I'm
Yeah,
glad to
it
be
is.
here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. Let's see, Sharita. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Good. Do you have a question?
I didn't really feel it in my throat, but I'm not sure if that's because I'm more used to being closed. I did feel kind of like a swirly sort of thing in my stomach, but
Mhm.
I also get the pressure on the back of my head. So for yes statements, I get like a pushing forward, and the no, I'm sort of being pulled
Okay.
back. But I always feel it kind of on the back of my head more than anywhere else.
So here's the thing. I don't know what the back of the head is. That's unique to you, and that's perfectly fine. This is a very different practice. I know a lot of people have worked with the pulling forward and the pulling back as somebody else's training, okay? As a yes or a no. This is not a yes or a no system at all. In fact, if you use it as a yes or a no system, the way I'm training you, it will get you messed up. In real life, okay, your thoughts are most likely so far away from your true life's blueprint and what you're here to produce because you've been pushed off it by very well-meaning people your whole life that you have a very small box that you're trying to make decisions from. Do I go to college? Do I not go to college? Do I live here? Do I live there? Do I marry this man? Do I not marry this man? Do I, right? Do I charge more? Do I not charge more? I mean, go on and on. It's like black or white. And that's not the way that it really is. So what we're doing in this practice is you have closing thoughts. Now, I want you to hold the thought right now for me. Find something that's really stressing you out that's a specific thing, a specific bill, a specific situation. Can you think of that one thing?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it? Do you mind sharing?
I have to do my taxes for my business.
Gosh, everybody's got taxes. It's the thing. Everybody's got the thing. Okay, good. So, now as you think about when you specifically, because this is the coolest thing about this work is it's very personal to you. We are dealing with your exact problems, not like some, I have abandonment issues. Well, where, when, with who? How does it show up? Doesn't show up all the time. It's not showing up with your best friend, but it's showing up with this person, right? So, or your dad or this, right? So, what are the specific things that you're thinking about yourself in relationship to your taxes?
Why haven't I done them yet?
And then
And
let's go a little deeper. So why haven't you done them? There's a lot under that. And your reasons for why you haven't done them in your head that you're lambasting yourself about are what?
I'm scared it's gonna get rejected. I don't even know why.
And that's
It's like,
closings. Yep.
yeah,
What else?
I don't know. I'm scared of not doing it perfectly.
Okay.
I
What
guess
else?
that's sort of combined. I'm scared of being judged.
Judged. Okay. What else?
Um,
Not smart enough?
yeah, a little. I
I'm
think I'm
not good
getting.
at this kind of thing.
I haven't done it before. This is my first time, which is why I've been putting it off. And now they're like, yes, you should have done this already. So yeah, so there's that. I'm behind, and that one's the truth. Like,
That
I'm
is everywhere
definitely
in your
behind.
life.
Yeah.
That I'm
So,
behind in everything.
well, I literally am behind. This is last year's taxes.
That happens. Okay, just so you know,
Yeah.
millions of people are in your position. Look at everybody shaking their head. Millions of people have this situation, okay? So I want you to just know that that's normal. So the reason why this is important is because we're going to take it one at a time, right? Because the resistance will keep you from actually doing it. Now, I want you to hold the thought. Now, did you do a deferment on your taxes?
I've been ignoring everything.
Okay,
It's
that's
been
okay.
ignored.
Okay,
I did actually like do the book stuff. So like I have it. I just have to fill out the form and stick it in, which I was supposed to do this morning and did not.
okay. So we're going to get to procrastination in this actual course. We're going to be working on that with you. So we're not going to do that today. But what we are going to do is I want you to hold the thought for a minute. I want, first of all, feel your closings about not getting it done. You're not going to get it done right. That it's going to be rejected, right? This is going to be a problem for you. Feel where it shows up. Touch the part of your body where it shows up.
Kind of just below my belly button.
Below the belly button or a little bit above it?
I think below.
Okay. So I want you to hold the thought. I can do this. It's going to be easier than I think, and it's going to be fine. Do you feel a release of the tension?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what, now we've aligned you with more truth. Now, this is what I want to say. There's not a yes or a no. It's a breadcrumb approach. It'll lead you thought by thought by thought. You have a blueprint in your life that is the most harmonious, beautiful place where you could be residing and living your life from. And all of the belief systems and stuff take us away from that blueprint and put us in a place that's out of alignment. And what happens is as you work through your closings, as you're doing this course and you continue using your IGS, each closing thought that you get rid of and you move into an opening brings that blueprint closer and closer to being back into line where it's supposed to be. And what happens is that over a very short period of time, a couple of months maybe of training, you're just there all the time. And when you slightly go off, you'll feel it, and then you'll be able to bring yourself back on. That's why it's not a yes or a no system. Okay? It really isn't, because it's going to reach for the next opening thought that's going to get you back to where you need to be. Is this making sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we don't want to use yes or no in this. Now, I want you to hold the thought. I'm going to get my taxes done today. Hold the thought, feel it in your body. Open, closed, or neutral.
I kind of feel it more at the bottom of my ribs now.
Okay. So what thought came up in response to what? Now that is actually your internal guidance system. The bottom of your ribs, the one before, that's your emotions about feeling like a failure. Now we're actually in the guidance system, which is right here, which is a belief system that's not true for you. So my question for you is, what is it when you thought, I'm going to get them done today? What was your first response?
I could do it, but I don't know if I am.
Right. Now, where is it showing up now when you hold that thought? Is it still in your upper solar plex area?
No, I don't feel anything there now.
Now you're at a neutral. Okay. So I want you to hold the thought, I am not going to do these today.
I'm not going to do these today.
Open, closed, or neutral? Do you feel it?
Closed.
So I am
Yep.
going to get these done today.
I am going to get these done today. And now I feel it sort of
Releasing.
rising.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more, I don't know if it's like releasing, but I feel like it's lifting like higher.
Yes. That's the opening. That's an opening sensation. Okay. So I want you to hold this thought. This is no different than me filling out an application. The numbers are all done. You just have to put in the numbers. This is no different than me filling out an application.
No
Feel it.
different than filling out an application. Yeah, that feels closed.
Okay. So what was the thought you had? Say how we're working on this. Now it seems very complex right now because she's just a newbie, but she'll get there. So what was the thought you had? This is about it being just an application.
I am very resistant to filling out applications.
So I hit the thing. Okay. This is going to be easy to do. That was the whole point about the application piece. I'm filling in the blanks. This is going to be easy to do.
This is going to be easy to do.
First sensation. You don't want to let your mind jump in with a response too quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it's lifting again, like my heart.
So here's what I want you to do just as a coach, because there's me training you how to use your IGS, and then there's Zen the coach, and they're two different things. What I want you to do is take the application, get it open in front of you, set your timer for 5 minutes, and fill out as much as you can. You only have to do 5 minutes. That's it. If you don't get any more than 5 minutes done today and you have to do 5 minutes more tomorrow, that's fine, but just do the first 5 minutes and then see what happens.
Okay.
You promise?
Yeah, well, it's going to take me 5 minutes to log in to download the page that I have to do, but I will make sure
log in, download the page, and then set your timer for the 5 minutes of the application, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I can tell what kind of mind you have. We're going to have a blast together this week. Yes, it'll be good. You get the yeah, but mind. Yeah, but. So don't worry. I have that mind too. So
I want the bugs to go. They can go.
Yeah, They will. They will. You'll
Thank
be able
you.
to be more certain with yourself, and you'll be able to understand, and you'll be able to see because every time you do, yeah, but you close back down. You'll start noticing you're feeling that. And before too long, what happens is you and your mind begin to separate, and you'll be able to see what your mind is doing, and you'll be able to see what you are actually experiencing as truth. And then you'll be able to start consciously saying, yeah, we're not going to follow that line of questioning mind, or we're not going to follow that yeah, but inquiry because it's not serving me. And I already have an opening as to what I should be doing now, and I'm going to go do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I want to be there.
You will be. You just have to keep practicing. You will get there. That's the whole point of all of this. So you're doing great. Thank you.
Thank you.
But so now you know that you are feeling the opening and closing because you just experienced it back and forth. Now,
Yeah.
your mind is probably going to, before we even get off the phone or off the Zoom, say, yeah, but did I really feel it?
Now I felt it.
Yes, the key for you is to know that it's always going to say, yeah, but. We'll never get rid of the yeah, but. It's who your mind is. And that's okay. It's like your heart beating. It's just going to do that. The key is for you to understand that you don't need to listen to that piece of it anymore. Do you see? Good.
Yeah.
These are kind of tight today. All right. Oh, that's what it is. I have my headband on. Okay. Thank you so much, Rita.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who else would like to go and has a question or how it was? Yes, Roberta, please.
I'm sort of stuck because mine has to do with my son who disappeared 2 years ago to go find himself. And I'm worried. He wasn't in the best mental state. He's off the charts. He's a genius. But, sometimes I think that could be a detriment. And I can't reach him. He got rid of his phone. I don't know how to find him. I hired a private investigator. And we think he went as far as Alaska, but we're not sure. So, I did everything I could do, and I'm just so sad. And I don't know how to say, I can't control this.
No, you
You
can't.
know, so I don't know how to get out of this like sadness.
Okay. So there's a couple of things. First, this is a big topic. We're going to handle it today as far as we can. Okay. But this is a big topic. I would call this a complex coaching question. And so I can work you through a complex coaching question, but you need a little more training for me able to do it with you well. Okay. But this is not too heavy or too big for this work or me or you. All right. So we're going to start there.
Okay.
So number one, your emotions are not your internal guidance system. You can be in the middle of an emotional experience. My mother, she died when I was young. I was 23. And I went through grief and I had just started understanding my internal guidance system. And it was sudden. And in the midst of my grief, I literally was on the floor of my living room wailing because it hurt so bad to have her gone. And I would think thoughts about woe's me, who's going to be there for me when I have kids, when this and that, all the petty stuff. And I would feel this gaping, sucking hole inside of me, which is my IGS closing to the deepest amount it could. That wasn't what's going to happen for me. And I can tell you, I have had beautiful women in my life as mothers, mother mentors, and mother role models in my life. That has never happened that I was ever alone when I needed a woman who was my a matron for me. And then when I would hold all the thoughts of what I was going to miss and what she brought to me, this expanded love and of expansion of the internal guidance system opened because all of that was true and in alignment. So when we're working with emotions, they're not the same as our internal guidance system. Our guidance system helps us to find thoughts that open us and get us in alignment with our blueprint. All right. So the sadness is different than what we're training you to do with the internal guidance system. Now, what I can tell you about your emotions is that your emotions are always attached to a story, and the story is what creates the emotion. So an example is a child can disappear and the mother is freaking out and everybody's looking for it. Turns out it went down to the creek to play, doesn't even know everybody's upset. It's just lost in its world making forts for the crawdads, right? And then it gets home and everybody is freaked out and the mom is like overjoyed. So she went from totally in depth of despair to overjoyed they're back to, oh my God, I'm going to kill you for disappearing on me. I am enraged. Where have you been? I am, you're dead. I'm going to just scream your enough, all of that. And the story didn't change. The child was still sitting downstairs or sitting at the creek, totally happy, playing with crawdads. Our emotions have nothing to do with reality. Our emotions have to do with the story we're making inside of our head. Now, whether that story is true or not, your IGS can help you with. Whether that story is aligned with the thoughts that are going to bring you the greatest harmony with your blueprint to be able to take the deepest, most powerful action in the moment or not is what your IGS can help you with. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at and write out the story you have. It will probably have something to do with your relationship, your parenting, things you might have did or said that you wish you hadn't, ways you could have shown up differently, missing him deeply, not knowing where he is, not knowing how to support him now, not knowing if it's your job, wishing it was over because it's too much and you want to get on with your own life and not have this haunt you, feeling guilty about it, about that feeling, how others perceive you, that this is happening to you and what it means about you. I don't know. There's a whole gamut of thoughts that come in about this experience, and you want to get them out of your head and onto paper. Write the story. Write the story.
So include my thoughts, my feelings, everything.
And be totally real. Yep. As authentic and unpolitically correct as possible.
It's fine.
Right? Because there's, I remember it was like the 4th year after my mother died, and I had this moment of gratitude on Mother's Day that I no longer had to take care of her. And then I felt a deep guilt. How could I ever think that? But my mom, I had to call her every work. I had to there was just this paying attention that was consistent, right? And a friend of mine was talking about how her mother, oh no, the day's going by and if I don't call my mom, she's going to be mad. And I've had this, I'm so glad I don't have that. And then I was like, you horrible, awful daughter, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm in it. And I was closed. The guilt is always closing. Remorse is always opening. And I had to move through that. And it's a yes and. Both were okay. So get the story out so you can see where the emotions truly are and what they really are. And then you can read through it and see what opens you and what doesn't open you. Okay? And then as we go through the week, I believe, and this is my belief, and you can everybody check your own IGS for your own beliefs. This is super important. I am not here to give you beliefs. I'm here to make sure that you know your truth and you can live it so fully that you are unconquerable. Then what we'll look at is, I believe that your son chose you and you chose him. And you have the perfect amount of dysfunction and the perfect amount of functionality and that he needs in order to polish his soul here on this planet, and that it's all interconnected beautifully. And we can then look at, is it for you to be in his business right now? Or is this exactly where he needs to be and what he's doing? Or is there some place where you should be paying money to find a private detective and it opens you that he needs you to come and bring him out of where he's at? We don't know. It could be either way. We don't know, but your IGS does. The divine connection within you knows the divine connection with him, and it knows right timing and divine timing, and it will allow you to have peace in waiting. And I've had moments. Where I remember a dear friend who was in a very similar situation, and I would check in and there was nothing there. And then all of a sudden I had a dream and I woke up and I knew I had to find her and I found her and I flew her home because it was the exact moment that she cried out and was like, help, to the dark. And something tapped on me and said, we need you to get her home. That is what we can do, is we can clear it out so you can get to peace, and we can also figure out where your action needs to be in this moment now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry. That's so hard. It's rich. It's a lot. Thank you for sharing, Roberta. I appreciate that. All right. Who else would like to go? I have 2 iPhones here. I do know Jan. Jan's in the shirt. Who are you, little Miss White Tank Top? What's your name?
I had to unmute myself. Hi, my name is Daryl Landgraf, and I'm very sorry I'm late,
Okay.
and I am very sorry, and this all makes sense. I did not do anything. I didn't do the introduction of myself. I didn't do the game. I didn't do anything today and became late here.
That's
But
okay.
it's really quite ironic to join this. I'm in therapy, but also I have an issue with my father who is 88, has dementia, and is spiraling. And I saw a big spiral down this weekend. And I had my brother in town and my uncle in town. And, they're like, geez, oh my God, he's bad. And I'm like, I know. I live here. I live here. So just like you were saying, if I don't call my mother or my father, there's my mom talking to me, because I took care of her when she went through dementia. So, um, you know, I've had to put up boundaries and not call my father to check in every day because I need to take care of me sometimes, and I don't. And just like today, that's what I was doing. I got on the road really early this morning, and he had an issue and a frustration, and it's a scam call, and he's all frustrated because, they're coming tomorrow to reside my house. And I'm like, they're not coming tomorrow to reside your house, Dad. And, I'm like, do I send all his calls to my phone? Do I do that? But then I'm going to get a lot of junk calls because he gets a lot of junk calls. So all of this is going on. And I decided today, before getting here, that I was going to write down all the reasons why he makes me crazy, why he sucks all my world out of me. And I sit here and I worry and I have turmoil over everything. So I was going to write all those things down and share those things with him.
No,
But
no, no. Okay, let's slow down.
no, but okay. And then one other thing, the other thing was going to
Yeah.
be, because he wouldn't understand what I would tell him.
No, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna do anything.
No,
We can solve that together here instead.
but also included in that, I wanted to, he's still driving and he's 88 and he forgot how to turn the car off one day, but I was there, so I was able to help. And it is documented by 2 different doctors of his that he's not supposed to be driving.
Okay. So first of all, let's work on, did you do the exercise today? I know you said you haven't done
No.
anything. Okay. So the first thing that I need you to do is we're going to just do it together. Okay? All right. So go ahead and feel your feet. Close your eyes. Everybody on the call can do it if you want. Put your hands in your lap. Put your feet on the floor.
I'm standing.
Okay. You could have a seat. Or you can just stand there with your hands down to your side. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I can get to a seat.
There you go. There you go. Feel the bottom of your feet and the hands in your lap. Close your eyes. And I'm going to walk you through 2 statements so that you can get an understanding of what we're doing here. Take a breath, let it out. Now, the purpose of feeling your hands and your feet, you want to feel the bottom of your feet. You'll notice they become warm just by putting your attention on them. All of a sudden, they kind of feel more alive. They're suddenly there. Feet are like, oh, she's paying attention to me. Then the palms of your hands. Once again, they'll feel a little tingly, a little alive. Now focus on your hands and your feet at the same time. I'm going to give you 2 statements. Just let them float through your mind like a cloud does through the sky while you're continuing to put your attention on your feet and hands. Your mind's going to want to answer those statements. Don't just stop, feel your feet and hands, run it through your mind again like a cloud through the sky. Now, here's the first statement. I'm going to give it to you and just notice if there's any difference in the center of your body. And here's the statement. I do not have an internal guidance system. Noticing any sensation, I do not have an internal guidance system. Here's the second statement. Feel your feet and hands again. Put your awareness specifically on your feet and hands. And the second statement, I do have an internal guidance system. I do have an internal guidance system. Noticing any difference. Okay, open your eyes, wiggle your toes. Hi. So what was the first statement?
The first statement was, I do not have an internal.
And how'd it feel?
I felt it right here where my heart is.
Mm-hmm. And what'd it feel like?
A pain or a tightness.
Yes. And then the second statement, what did you feel?
There was nothing.
It released. It was gone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an opening. The first thing you felt.
Wow. Okay.
And the first thing you felt was a closing. All day long, your entire life, this has been happening inside your body in relationship to what you're thinking. When you feel an opening, you're in alignment in your life, and thoughts you're having are going to create success and lead you towards harmony and health in your life. And when you're closed, when you feel that tightness, that means you're leaving your harmonious spot in your blueprint, and you're moving towards things that are going to create havoc and disharmony and discord. And this has been with you your whole life. We just haven't had anybody explain it to you yet. Now, that closing, us humans have labeled worry, fear, anxiety, frustration, which you said with your father, irritation, doubt, defensiveness, impatience, procrastination, guilt. These are just a few. Anytime you feel that, this tightness is in your body. Every time. It's not your emotion. There's emotion, but your IGS is different. Frustration, specifically, is a belief that your mind has that a situation will never change or can't
It's
change.
true. Absolutely true. And I know it will, but I don't know how to get there.
Right. Your tightness is, or that your internal guidance system is telling you that that thought is not true, that it will change, that it is going to change. You just haven't found the way out. And that's where we play with the openings to look at, how do I want this situation to change? And that's day 3 of this. We're going to play with that. But for now, your exercise for today, so that we can actually get through what you need to know about your dad, you've got to play with this. We've got to connect your mind to your internal guidance system. And the way that you do that is anytime you feel closing, that tight feeling you just felt, and it can also show up in the solar plex area or as a lump in the throat, you stop and you say this phrase, I am closed. That means what I'm thinking is not true or not going to happen. Wherever the tightness is, when you hold that thought, because it's a true thought, it's the truest thought I've found to give a slight opening to everyone, that tension will release. And in that release, you're moving back into alignment with what's true for you. When you are in alignment with what's true for you, which is all that we do in this work, is keep you moving back into alignment, the world around you works out to the best of everybody's openness, and it will work out for everyone. Opening begets opening, and it will work out for everyone. And so that's the practice, is we just feel the tightness, say, no, we're out of alignment, and then we learn what we need to do to get back in alignment, and the world works out around us, and we create harmony for everyone around us.
So when I feel that tightness, I just say that I am closed.
Yes. That means what I'm thinking is not true or not going to happen. You need that second phrase. You're training your mind to question the sensations and you're training your mind to question its own thinking. You're giving your mind permission to be wrong without being in pain, because the ego doesn't want to be wrong. So this is just like, oh, what I'm thinking isn't going to work. It's not true. It's not going to happen. Okay, let's look at what is true and what is going to be, I need to be moving towards. That's all it is. So play with that. And then what we'll do is we'll look at, now, what I can say from having my father go through the same situation, he's probably terrified.
Yes.
And he's scared of driving too, but he doesn't have any other solutions that he knows what to do. And he doesn't want to tell anybody because he doesn't want to lose his freedom. There's a whole bunch going on there. But what we'll do is over the course of the next few days, practice this for the next few hours. Every time you feel a tightness, I don't care how little it is, say the phrase because you're getting this to recognize it. On day 3, 4, and 5, you'll be able to sort out exactly the plan and the strategy that's opening that'll support you and you getting your dad to where he needs to be, where he's safe, without you having to go through frustration. It'll feel opening.
That's this week. That's what I want from this week.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And your name's Daryl?
Daryl. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Daryl.
Nice to meet you too, Zen.
All right. Is there anyone else that has anything they want to share? Harry's one of our mentors, so he's here, like, enjoying this. He's been around for, gosh, I don't know, maybe 10 years now. Yeah. Go ahead, Lisa.
So you said something that like really resonated with me. You said remorse is an opening and guilt is a closing. And then I thought, okay, so regret, I think, is a closing.
Closing.
And what would be the opening? Would it be reframe?
No, everything is perfect.
Okay.
I've always done the best I could.
Okay. This is really potent work. And by the way, full disclosure, Daryl's my best friend.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Even though we live on opposite sides of the country.
Yes.
I
Yes.
do too with my
Hello.
best friend. My best friend Lauren.
I
Is
like
so awesome. Yeah,
So-
my best friend Lauren is in Massachusetts, and I'm in Idaho, West Coast, Idaho
Yes.
side. So,
Yeah. So Lisa said, Daryl, this is for us. This is for us. And it certainly is. So thank you.
good. You're my pleasure. So guilt, if you'll notice, you never do anything about guilt. It just beats you up. Rah, 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 I got to do it different. I got to work out. I got to do this. I got to eat better. I got to call this. I do, all these little things. But you never actually take action. Guilt is a program we pick up from our childhood about what makes us a good or a bad person, and it's not true for us. It's somebody else's expectation on us that isn't a part of our aligned blueprint. Remorse is opening, and when you feel remorse, you make amends. You fix it. You say, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that again. Even if it's only a covenant with inside your own soul that this isn't for me and I won't do that again. As a private promise, it's still an action, right? Regret is belief that you could have done something differently than you did. The real truth is we're always, always, always doing the best we could do, no matter how shitty it is, that what the job we've done, it is in that moment the best we could have done. If we could have done it better, we would have. Even people who are doing horrific things where you're like, of course they could do it better. If you stepped inside of the cup, I like to think of everybody's their own cup filled with different things. If you step inside and look in what's in their cup, that's the best they could have done. That grift, that lie, that theft, in that moment, based on where they've come from, in that exact moment, it's the best they could have done. Nobody goes into any situation and goes, I'm going to be my worst here. They are their worst. I've fully been my worst. But does that mean that I didn't show up with any other capacity to do it differently than that worst I was doing it at? Not in that moment, or I would have done it different. Is this making sense? So regret is never true. The other thing about, just to finish up on regret, because lots of people in our age group bracket have regret, right? It seems to be like a 50s thing. You get into your 50s, you got some regret. Our mistakes are potent opportunities for other people's growth. We seem to think that if we make a mistake, that it's just us living in this isolated experience. But it's not true. That mistake affected somebody else, and that affecting them had them do something. And in doing that something, it had brought them to a new choice. And sometimes that mistake is the exact thing that needed to happen for everyone involved. In fact, I would like to say every time that mistake needed to happen for everyone involved to get what they needed to get. When I look at near-death experiences that are out there in the world, one of the things that most people come back with is the perfection of everything and how everything is perfect. Even if you can't see that it's perfect, it still is perfect. No matter how heinous, how difficult, how whatever it is, it's still perfect because there is a miracle happening in every moment for us all to get to where we need to be and how it needs to be. And we can't see it. Our ego tells us. That's why guilt is so useless and is closing, is because there isn't anything you have guilt for. Remorse is different because remorse is about healing. It's about transformation. Guilt is never about healing or transformation. So when you get into regret, the deepest thing you can do is, I don't know why that happened. I would do it completely different now. I'm a completely different person, but I know that it was perfect because it did the best that I possibly can, and it was right for everybody concerned, even if I can't see it. Does that make sense?
It's if I understand this, and I mean, there's so much material here. When I think of the word reframe, that actually would allow me to go, "Oh my god, I really screwed the pooch on that. I'm not gonna do it like that again."
Mm-hmm.
And use the phrase, "Everything is perfect." And that to me is like the biggest reframe that I could possibly do because I'm the sort of person who's always looking for what's wrong here. What
Mm-hmm.
doesn't match, what doesn't fit, where's the bobble, where's the error? So it's
And that can be opening. That mindset and that capacity of where's the error, where's the wrong, as long as it's opening, as long as it's opening to look for the imperfection, as long as it's opening to look for the mistake or what's wrong here, that's your gift. And as long as it's opening to look for what's wrong, very different than looking for what's wrong to condemn, to
Mhm,
blame, to
mhm.
shame, to hurt. And that's closing. So your gift can be either or. You can turn it on yourself, what's imperfect, what's wrong, and it'll be very closing. Tomorrow we're going to get into feeling the depth of the perfect love of divine energy inside of us and how it's never away from us, it's always there, and how to return to it in every moment and how to find our wisdom to find our openings from there. Just a little day. But that gift that you have, you need to use it with discernment, which discernment's always opening, not judgment's always closing, on finding what's wrong and making it better is opening in this moment. Finding what's wrong and slamming it is closing in this moment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyone else have anything? Or more to say? It's okay. We have time.
I do.
Yeah. Hi, Jan.
Hi. Um, if something makes me feel bad, is that closing or is
So,
that judgment?
so you have to be specific because it depends, just because there's two sides of most
Uh,
coins. So can you give me one thing that makes you feel bad?
yeah, thinking negatively about my husband.
Okay.
That
So do you feel bad, guilty, or do you feel bad, the thoughts are making you feel bad about your husband?
I feel guilty.
Okay. Guilt is never opening,
Okay.
so it's a closing.
Yep.
Okay. Hold this thought for me. Okay. What I'm going through with my husband is very difficult, and it's okay for me to have a hard emotional response to it. What I'm going through with my husband is very difficult, and it's okay for me to have a hard emotional response to it. Do you feel open?
That's way open. That's like, yes.
Okay. So that is truth in your body right now. That is
Okay.
the truth. When you move into judging yourself for having an emotional experience to your husband's health crisis,
Yeah.
that feeling of that bad feeling, that tightness, that is
Hmm.
closing. And that means those thoughts are not true.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'm going to say one more thing. If something that your mind is deemed as negative or unpleasant is true, it will open you and you will still feel that good opening feeling, even if the unpleasant thoughts are true. Unpleasant thoughts that make you feel bad are not true. Unpleasant thoughts that leave you with an opening are true.
Okay. Thank you.
And you have the courage and the strength in the opening with unpleasant thoughts to handle them well. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So we're always truing up to the opening.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because remorse can feel bad too, but it feels rich. Remorse feels like being a human is not about feeling good all the time.
No.
Being human is about feeling the depth of emotion and experience that the body and this world can create within us. So we can feel remorse and it hurts and we feel so bad about what happened that our heart is breaking, that we should have done it differently and we would now and we want to make up for it. But that is a rich, precious, essential human experience. That changes the planet. That cures problems in a marriage. That fixes bonds between parent and child, right? That shifts the consciousness of, like, when they did the reconciliation conversations in the South Africa over apartheid, the remorse that was in the room for all that were participating was so rich and deep, but the healing that came out of it because of the experience of the remorse was precious. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Versus the pitying, guilty, tyrannical, I'm bad, beating and flogging ourselves of the guilt thing creates nothing of grace, nothing of love, nothing of healing. It just spins us out and allows us and stops us from being able to connect to anything of preciousness of being a human, because it doesn't allow us to even connect with anyone because I am such a big piece of garbage. I don't even want you to look at me. Remorse doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't.
So
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's what we're looking at. We're deeply looking at what is this that I'm feeling, and is it creating something precious and essential, or is it just tearing me down and creating a place where I can't rebound from?
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for asking. Anyone else? I know it's a lot. It all starts to make more sense as we get through. It's just the beginning. This is kind of like a little appetizer, but all right, everybody. I love you very much. Thank you for doing the game. Thank you for learning to use your IGS. This is my gift to you, is this precious time, and I am so grateful you're here. Thank you for trusting me. I will see you tomorrow. Go ahead and unmute. We'll all say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. I love you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Nice to meet everybody.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.